Hey, today's Tuesday, December the 9th.
I'm Bruce Turner in Melbourne, Florida.
I'm Jeff Zayas, not with Bruce Turner.
And I'm Robert Taylor in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Hey, everyone, I'm Duke Carrico, and on this edition of Tech and Coffee's Android Journal, why has Microsoft's phone failed? Google's device assistant, we'll take a look. And what does Google say are the best apps of 2014? Hey, all this, a smart lock for Chrome OS and your Android phone is getting close. Hey, our apps and even more. Welcome, guys, to episode 81. How's everybody doing this evening?
Doing great here on the Space Coast. Well, that was exciting with that Orion launch last week, wasn't it? Or earlier?
Yeah. Was that not beautiful? I'll tell you, there's something about a Dawn launch. It's just incredible, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I was tied up. I actually listened to it in a hangout. Robert Albert in Tech and Coffee, he and Guy Cook they had it open, so I listened to it. But then when I got things taken care of, I definitely checked the replay, and it was awesome. I'll tell you what, man, at NASA's a good app to have on your device at times like this.
Yeah. Did you see the article that said there's more technology in your smartphone than there is on Orion?
Wow. All right. Hey, guys, before we get into the show there, who's ready for Christmas?
Eek.
I'm
waiting for my my Kids Believe letter that I tweaked.
Yeah. We actually, I say we, man, I tell you what's true. If she heard me that, she'd be hitting me over there with a rolling pin. She put our tree up today. Yeah.
I have a cute story. My sister-in-law kid wants to, they're talking to him about, Christmas and Christmas presents, and he goes, well, they asked him what he wanted. He wanted a PlayStation 4. And they're trying to, get them the idea that, you can't have all these things, And he comes back with, why do you care? Santa's going to get it.
Yeah.
They're like, you want them to believe, but, it's not costing you anything. Santa's going to get it.
That hurts, yeah. Hey, all right. Hey, man, I'll tell you what. Hey, guys, it was kind of hard to scrape up a lot of good Android news this week. This is probably going to be a short show, but there were some articles that I thought worth discussing. And first out of the gate, let's talk about, Huawei. They had some pretty harsh words to say about Microsoft last week. Basically, what they said is nobody has made any money from the Microsoft's mobile phones. And, I've never owned a Windows phone device. I've definitely played with them. And while I think that interface sucks on a PC, I think it's a great interface on a phone. And I've always thought that maybe Microsoft had they had some good things going, but they just haven't caught on. And Jeff, you got any opinions as to why Microsoft is failing in the mobile phone sector?
Well, I read the article, and I kind of understand what they believe the reasons were, but and I agree with you. The Metro interface seems to render itself well for a phone. It kind of looks like the tiles would. Although I never played with a Windows phone, but they came so late to market, and they just didn't. I don't think they're just too late. Too little too late, and since Windows 8, the operating system didn't really take off as well, so that marriage, that ubiquitous kind of landscape didn't really materialize for them, and because of that, it suffered. So they got slammed on Windows 8, with the start menu and all those things, and then, people weren't interested in a Windows phone, even though they looked like they had some great specs. They had incredible phone, camera on some of those Nokias and stuff like that, and just never made the penetration. Just never made it. Even when people reviewed it, they liked it, but no one bought it.
Bruce, jump in here, man.
Well, a couple of points I would make. One is I found it interesting that Leo Laporte on his Tech Guy radio show, if he was talking to somebody who was moving from a feature phone to a smartphone, he often would say, the Windows phone would be what he would recommend because of the ease of use of the user interface. And then my daughter, actually my granddaughter dropped my daughter's Galaxy S3, and she just wasn't in a financial place to afford to get it fixed, even with insurance. So we went down to Walmart together, and there were a couple Android phones, and there was this Windows phone, and they were all within a price range that she could afford. She chose the Windows phone, and if you were to ask her today, she said she likes it. I mean, she likes it. It's easy to use. It does what she needs it to do. So, but I agree with everything Jeff said too. I mean, too little, too late. I mean, I was sitting here humming to myself, and it's too late, baby. Now it's too late.
Well, I don't have stats here in front of me. I think right now, if you look at worldwide sales, Android sitting at the mid-80s, Apple sitting at about 13%, and then Windows Phone is sitting right at about 3% of sales. I don't know. Like I say, first of all, I think Huawei might lack a little bit in quality compared to the Nokia line, and I'm talking Windows Phone here. But do you think that with these poor sales, I mean, it's just been pitiful for Microsoft so far. Robert, do you think that Microsoft's going to bow out? They're making some pretty intriguing Android apps. You think they're going to bow out of the Windows Phone market and find a way to support Android and iOS and be profitable, or are they going to continue on this path?
That's a tough call. I don't think they can continue on this path that they're on for very much longer. It's either you better do something serious or bow out. One or the other. But this, half-hearted attempts at phone releases is not really going to work for very much longer. I think with Windows 10, when that finally hits the market in 2015, we may see a different Windows Phone operating system. And that may pull Microsoft out of its lackluster performance so far in this market. But I'm not sure that they can do it. Again, hearing Bruce saying it's a little too late, it may very well be. I mean, again, we're still talking a year away for Windows 10. We're still a year away from that. And they've got the stigma of the Metro interface that did not work on tablets, does not work on desktop machines, but yet on the phones, every Windows Phone user that I've talked to, they do like their phone.
Yeah. What's amazing is I've seen a big push on the Surface Pro, on TV ads, but you don't see anything really anymore on the Windows Phone, any kind of ads about the Windows Phone, or so I wonder if they are just saying, okay, maybe we're going to try to make a bigger effort into the tablet market, into the PC alternative market, and then kind of Trojan horse it, and then hopefully you'll be, once you need to upgrade your phone, you might like our operating system now. How do you like me now? And move over.
Well, y'all have laughed at me before, but I've said this. I think what they need is some sort of campaign where you buy a Surface Pro 3 and you get a free Windows Phone with 1 year of service.
My thoughts exactly. Bundle it together.
I'm serious. I think that's what it's going to take because you've got your loyalists for both Android and iPhone platforms.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, what you just said, it's going to be get a Kindle and get a free Fire phone.
Well, I was thinking if they would have worked together with Amazon, we could have had the WinFire. And they could have given it away. No, I think the bundling idea is really quite good because it's funny, Jeff, when you mentioned, as soon as you mentioned Windows Surface Pro, I was already thinking in my mind, I wonder if once people acclimate to that Windows Surface Pro who really like it, if they wouldn't have a greater affinity to try the Windows Phone to kind of stay within that sphere.
Yeah, which is maybe their plan. Who knows? But it would make sense. I mean, have they gone so far down the river that they can't, come back, and now they have to, paddle even faster? I don't know.
Hey, it's Windows CE all over again.
But I'll tell you what, Microsoft has always weathered the storm. They really have. Vista, whatever.
I'm certainly not claiming that Microsoft's over, but if you look, you got Apple pinching them on the high end, okay, and you've got Chromebooks pinching them on the low end, and we've talked quite a bit about the Stream. Can the Stream compete? We've yet, we'll have to wait and see. But and then you look at their phone efforts, and like I say, it's they can't go on. They've got to get a winner sometime. If not, that cash cow is going to dry up.
Right. At some point, they have to either come out with a system that works in both environments, because that truly is the only way that they can really come out smelling good, is if they can take their Windows desktop and tie it to the phone and tablet experience very well. I mean, to use Apple as a guide, the difference between an iPhone and an iPad and a Mac, they're very similar, and Microsoft needs to do the same thing with Windows Phone and Windows 10. They're not going to do it with Windows 8. People have got a bad taste in their mouth. They can't do it with Windows 7. We know that for sure. And that's the only way they're going to pull out of this rut. And if they're not going to do it, then they need to drop the Windows Phone, period.
Go ahead.
Here's another point. Who owns the enterprise? Microsoft. But do you know of one single business that has rolled out Windows phones to their employees, their salespeople, their staff? I don't know of any.
Yeah, not in several years.
As a matter of fact, right now, I just got an end-of-the-year call. Everybody's doing inventory refresh. I have to go set up 3 iPads and 3 iPhones tomorrow in a Windows environment. Explain it.
It's weird. I just, for grins, while you guys were talking, not that I wasn't listening, of course. I did a quick look at Microsoft's stock price, and you know that it is the highest that it's ever been in the last 5 years. It's kind of crazy. It's at it's at $47 a share, and for a while there it was hovering around 25. So they've kind of pulled themselves out of the doldrums, and they had this steady climb for about a year. So interesting. They're making money somewhere.
Oh, absolutely. Like I say, but the competition is really starting to creep on them. So, and I don't look for them to go anywhere anytime soon. But sooner or later, they're going to have to compete. All right, hey man, I'm moving on. Hey guys, who has put Device Assist on your Android devices? And don't everybody speak at once here. We got to take turns.
Yeah, we're all shaking our heads for this podcast. I have not.
Okay.
Nor have I.
let me see if I can get it up here really, really fast. I'll tell you what. I think this is a pretty cool little app here. There's a when you log in, that's what you see there. It might give you some tips. It's telling me right now I probably ought to use a wall charger, and I can actually contact support. And I've seen this done live on the Twit network. He actually hit the button and somebody picked up. But then right here we've got detected issues, and we can go over here to tips and the information at just the right time to learn more.
Is that on Lollipop? Is that the deal?
Yes, and here's a little bit about Google now and how to set it up and how to use it. I'm going to go back. Let AirDroid give it a chance. So here's how to extend your battery life with Battery Saver, which Battery Saver is it's an enhanced app on Android. Type faster with gesture typing. How to take a screenshot. How to unlock your phone with a glance. This is actually a pretty cool little app. I didn't think I needed it. I downloaded it more for curiosity's sake, but I have found myself since installing this last Thursday, I have opened up and used this app quite a few times, and I think it's pretty neat. This is one thing, you know, I've always said that Google sucks when it comes to retail. They suck when it comes to customer service, you know. They really do. But I think this right here, this device assist app, might be a step in the right direction there. I really hate you guys haven't had a chance to play with it.
Well, as a matter of fact, I saw it in the rundown, and I looked over at my Nexus 7 tablet, and I was going to install it. Was a little bit busy today, but I said, well, I want to see it. And then when I looked at my tablet, guess what? I have Lollipop waiting to be installed on my tablet.
Yeah, there you go.
Finally got it. Finally got it on that net.
I'm surprised.
It'll be interesting to see what apps, if any, do not work for you because you install it.
Yeah, we'll find out.
All right, man. That's very, very cool.
Do you have to be rooted
Right,
to use that, or just have Lollipop?
Just have Lollipop.
Okay.
Yeah, just have Lollipops. What you need there. All right, man. So I'm moving on here. Hey guys, Google came out with this list of the best apps of 2014. They put it on their Play Store, and I'm not really sure what kind of algorithm that they used, because this really doesn't. A lot of these, don't get me wrong, a lot of these are very good apps, but they didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Some of them are only rated 3 stars. Some of them we've never heard of before, and then others are apps you'd expect to find here. Very few Google apps.
I didn't see one Google app on here.
Actually, Google Fit is in here.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't notice that.
So anyway, with that said, there are some apps that I hadn't heard of, and I might check them out here later. But guys, to be honest with you, I really wasn't too impressed with this list. What about you, Jeff?
You know, I was looking at it, and you said that Fit was on it, but you're right. I was going, wow, I don't see any of the Google apps out here, and I didn't see what is the #1 downloaded app in the Facebook Messenger is not on here, right? So you kind of go like, you're right. How did they make it? And then I'm looking at some of these apps and I'm going, well, I have SwiftKey, I have that, but TimeHop, I don't even know what TimeHop is. If I share my screen, it's like alligator with goggles on. It's like a game, and a lot of these things are games, and things like that. Maybe trying to promote that kind of thing. So there wasn't anything that really just jumped off the page. Said, yeah, I gotta have, right? So no, I wasn't totally impressed.
Yeah, well, and like I say, I just can't figure out how they arrived here. I'll give you an example. IM, that's EYEEM, it pronounced IM, is it's a camera filter app. Okay, think Instagram, but this particular app does a lot of cool things locally. It's got a very cool search where you can search others' photos. I've had this app installed. In fact, this has been one of my app picks here on this show. I really like IM. But you know what? IM's here, and Instagram isn't.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anyway, like I say, I just thought it was a weird list, and I really would like to know how Google arrived at picking these apps to go on the best of 2014 apps list.
Yeah, I agree. There's only one app on there that really jumps out at me, and I use it quite frequently, is iHeartRadio. But beyond that, it was a very lackluster list, in my opinion.
There's several on here I use. I mentioned IM. Camera Zoom FX is an app that I actually paid for. Ultimate Guitar Tab, pretty cool
Yeah.
app.
And they have Ubers on here as well, so that's an app that's used a lot, probably from people that are urbanites. But yeah, I'm looking at urbanites. Yeah,
Uberites.
Uberites.
Real quick, Uber's in a mess, aren't they?
I don't know if they're in a mess. I think they like insert open mouth, insert foot, and they've addressed a lot of stuff. I mean, I didn't realize how big they really were. How they're how worldly Uber is. I mean, I didn't even know. I mean, no one knew that the Uber was in India until you read the little article about that.
They got banned in 3 countries today.
Yeah. So and I knew they were in Germany. I knew they were based on things like that. But I always thought that they were pretty much a U.S. based kind of company service, and that's why they're probably valued so high. But when they say things like they're going to spend $1 million to dig up dirt on a reporter or something like that, like create a slush fund to fight back, that's not good. Companies should not have that stance. We're going to do that. So, but they're high flying, that's for sure. They're a highly valued company.
In the billions.
Yeah.
I think that Uber offers something that your typical cab company doesn't. And listen, I think they could be huge. I think, and there's going to be competitors to Uber.
There are, yeah, Lyft and some other ones, yeah.
Yes, Lyft being one of them. There's another one out there I'd never heard of till last week. But I'll tell you what's the truth. They've got a real they've got a marketing challenge right now because they've got a pretty bad reputation. I've heard and read of several people who have removed the apps from the phone, so forth, etc. Maybe in the end, all this negative press will work in their favor because everyone's talking about them.
Yeah, but one thing they have done, they've kind of like they're kind of like Google in a strange sort of way. How Google shook up the advertising industry, Uber is definitely shaking up the cab industry. Now they, because the cab companies, they would, negotiate with the city, like San Francisco, to buy medallions, and then their business is just renting out the medallions to drivers, and all the drivers are independent contractors, and they got to pay, $500, $600 a day for the medallion, and then they drive, and whatever they make, right? And they have to cover their own insurance and all that stuff. And because of that, was such a monopoly. Now these guys are having a hard time making it. The price of the medallions have come down where they rent them from the cab company, which is, it's cause and effect. So, competition is a good thing in every instance, I believe. So,
Well, I will
see
tell
what
you,
happens.
my sister drives for Uber, okay, and she does very well. She does it, part time in the evenings. Um, she says a lot of college age, younger people doing it, which is a good thing. They partiers or whatever, and they want to ride home, and they use the app, and they love the app. My sister loves the app. She makes a little extra, pocket change. She says she does very well with it, and there's not been one negative comment or complaint from anybody except for the cabbies and for the people who, Uber has apparently targeted. So I guess in this case where the competition, it does seem sort of unfair. We regulate cabs, that the cabs can be only so many years old and they have to have certain types of equipment. They have to accept credit cards. They have to, there's things that they have to do in order to be a cab. There's no regulation on Uber, hardly at all.
Which is why
No, there's
in Toronto. That's why they were banned in New York and Toronto. It wasn't because they were calling people. They would just they've got all these licensing fees for the cabs in New York and Toronto, and Uber didn't feel they had to comply with that.
Listen, Uber is the big kid on the block, and they got a target on their back, and they're being attacked. It really bummed me out when I was watching one of the Twitch shows and heard some of the guests talking about, I removed the app off my phone and all that. I wonder if they reported on how many cabbies committed crimes, robbed people, raped people, did other things, if it would be the same way. This is no doubt in my mind a real attack. Yeah, they've got a public relations thing that they've got to deal with, but it's almost like it really, I could give you an example, and of course this will not garner a whole lot of sympathy, but it's like I feel when people start attacking Walmart.
I understand.
And I agree with Bruce. I think that they when the issues have come up, like I think now they have $1 million policy when the drivers are with the ride, and things like that. So they try to address the issues as they arose, and I'm a big fan. I never, I signed up for Uber just to check out the app and look at it, and they gave me like a $10 free ride. I haven't used it, but I just wanted to see it, and it looks like it's pretty all-encompassing. They tells you how the driver will be there in like 10 minutes to your location, and it's kind of like they have a picture of who's coming, and it's I would never know that with the cab, right? I would never know that this person's coming. I hail down a cab, and it could be anybody, right?
It's just like Airbnb. Airbnb gets attacked a lot from the hotel and motel industry. It's the same thing. It's not unlike what we see happening with cable and cable cutters, and publishers and ebooks. I mean, the times, they are changing, and it doesn't surprise me that you get this kind of.
And in San Francisco, I think Airbnb has been kind of settled their deal with them, and now that they collect 10% for occupancy tax, and you can't rent out more than 180 days or something a year, and that seems to be a good compromise. So yeah, I think all these companies are, they're working within the system, and as they get bigger and bigger and bigger and widely accepted, municipalities have to make allowances for them because people want that service.
Yeah.
We got off on a tangent there, but yeah.
Hey, well, you know what? That worked good, though. That was good conversation. I appreciate it, guys. It wasn't on the spreadsheet, but I thought it a good chance to discuss that, because that's been a pretty hot topic with a lot of people who follow technology. Hey, all right, man. Moving on. Bruce, have you been able to unlock your Chromebook with your Android phone yet?
I have not. I've been so busy I haven't been able to try anything. I have been following the articles, though, and it does look really interesting. Where because I'm traveling with my Chromebook, and it would be nice for me to open my Chromebook and it know that my phone was in my pocket or sitting on the desk next to the Chromebook, and not have to take that step to unlock it.
I think presently your phone has to be unlocked. I did try to activate it last night. It was getting late, and I didn't make it, and I just hadn't had a chance today. But there is you can go in for anyone who wants to try it, who has a Chromebook and an Android phone. Go to Chrome : flags. And look for there's two flags right together that you need to enable. One of them is to unlock. I forget. I wish now I hadn't mentioned it because I can't remember how the flags were worded. But it looks like it's very, very simple to do. You kind of do that. You restart Chrome. And you're supposed to be able, if your smartphone is unlocked, it will recognize that your smartphone is close by and won't require you to enter a password. This was unveiled back in the summer at Google I/O, and it looks like it's just about ready for prime time, and I'm pretty excited about it myself, I've got to say. I think it's going to rock.
And it's lollipop only once again.
Yeah, and what's going to be cool though is if they really want smartwatches to take off, that'd be a pretty cool feature. If I've got my watch on, the Chromebook knows it, and voila, that would be cool.
I like the other idea, the opposite, where if you had a smartwatch, your phone would be unlocked. Because I always lock my phone's always unlocked. Locked up, so in case I lose it, no one can go crazy with it. But if I had my smartwatch and it was in the same location, it's always on. When I turn it on, when I power it up, it should unlock. That's one thing I would love if I had a smartwatch. For $79, an LG smartwatch.
Well, how crazy can you go with a Motorola Droid of the year and vintage yours is anyway?
Exactly. I'm looking at it right now. My poor droid. Razor Max.
He's doing a pretty good job. See what it is there. He took so much stuff back there that he feels guilty, and he will not let go of that droid.
I am not going to.
Hey guys, listen. We are Tech and Coffee. We are a daily Google Plus hangout. We all get together, talk tech. We enjoy our favorite beverages and a real community. I enjoy the community very much, speaking for myself. We also have a Twitter and a Facebook. If you would like to follow us there at Tech and Coffee 1, our YouTube channel's Tech and Coffee. Circle us on Google Plus. Just search for Tech and Coffee and look for that TNC logo. Also, you can catch this podcast and others on Stitcher Radio and iTunes. Questions, comments, and snide remarks, AJ at techandcoffee.info. Hey, guys.
Hey, Duke, have we ever gotten a snide remark at AJ at techandcoffee.info?
Yeah, but it was just one of the Tech and Coffee regulars who were snide and remarking. Yeah. Hey, Bruce, what app you got for us this week, man?
All right, my app of the week, and we'll do a couple screen shares and one thing. I'll just hold it up first of all. My app of the week is Planning Center Online. Now, this is a free app, but the service is not free. Your church, ministry, organization, anything that has to do with scheduling, building space, rooms, conference rooms, scheduling events, who's in charge of what, the outline of how it's going to go, and different things like that would really benefit this. So this is Planning Center Online on my phone. Now the way I use this, or the way that the church that I'm part of uses this, and I know your church uses it too. Both Duke and I play in a worship band. He's a bass guitar player. I'm an acoustic guitar player, and we have all of the plans for the services, and and we can get notifications. You've been assigned to play this Sunday. Can you play? And you can respond and say I accept it or I can't, and give a reason why and so forth and so on. It's got all the times of the rehearsals, the times of the services, who's responsible for all the different segments in the services, and then it's got this really great feature for doing some media practice. Now I'm going to share a couple screens. This is the app actually running on the website. So if I go to the website, I can go and look at all my plans, and here's all the plans that I'm signed up. I'm signed up to play for the Big Room. That's the Saturday night and 3 Sunday morning services on December the 27th and 28th, January 10th and 11th, January 3rd and 4th. I'm going to be real busy coming up here, aren't I, Duke? And then December 20th and 21st, I jumped in there. Somebody was traveling for Christmas and Celebrate Recovery. So if I click on this particular event, it will load up, everything about the songs. And we're in a series on the different names of God. And so it will have, who's going to make the announcements, the offering, when that's going to come, and it's got all of the information about the songs. Now, if I click on rehearse, and I can bring up a media player, and I can actually play the songs, and I can actually practice with it, on the guitar. And the other great thing about it is, for those songs that are listed there, I can go to that particular song, and I can, like this one is called Whom Shall I Fear that I was playing there, and I can download the charts, the different arrangements, the music chart that I'm going to play from. I can also download the MP3 player as well. So it's just a really, really great app. If anybody watches this show and you're part of a church ministry, Planning Center Online is just really great. Here you can click on the Songs tab, and you can see all the songs that we do, the different services that it's been a part of. Great search engine. I can go to the media, and I can see all the different videos that our churches produce for different things. And I really like this, because this is the People tab, and here's everybody that's a part of our ministry, whether they're tech crew, lighting, video, cinematography, all that kind of stuff, and it's got information there where you can contact them. So Planning Center Online, it's a great app, and I encourage you to check it out.
I've really got to say, I love Planning Center, and I just can't say enough about it. It just makes it so much easier as far as rehearsing. When I go into play, there's no excuse not to be ready, because I've got the music, I've got the charts, and it really makes life easy. It sure does. I love Planning Center Online, sure do. Hey, Jeff, what you got for us, big dog?
Well, I have something. It's more of a negative review. Let me do a screen share real quick. That's right here. As you all know, or maybe you don't know, I'm not a rabid 49er fan, but I like watching football, and I'm kind of invested in a little bit. So on Thanksgiving, the 49ers were playing the Seattle Seahawks, and I had to go down to Santa Clara we were invited to go down to Santa Clara for Thanksgiving dinner, and we knew we live in Napa. It's like about a 2-hour drive to get down there. So on the way back, we were going to leave around 6:30 or something like that. And I knew the game was on at 5:30. Was on NBC Sports, and then so I started to look up, how can I stream this? I made arrangements with my wife to drive home from the Thanksgiving dinner so I could sit in the passenger seat and with my little Nexus 10 laptop, Wi-Fi hotspot, watch the game on NBC Sports Live Extra, and I'll just be in my own little, my little time capsule of glory going down 680 back home, watching the 49ers, come back and beat the Seattle Seahawks. Well, this app is crap on a stick, okay? It is horrible. It is so bad. I couldn't get it to work on my tablet with the Wi-Fi hotspot. It never loaded up. And then when I had it on my phone, it just never loaded up. And And I've done things like this similar with other Xfinity apps, except that Xfinity, which is my Comcast app, doesn't allow you to stream live events that that were what I'm interested in, which happened to be Sunday Night Football that was playing on Thanksgiving evening. So, anyways, NBC Sports Live Extra is not a very good app. I was very disappointed. Although I went old school, turned on the radio, and listened to the game on the way home. And yes, if Guy Cook is watching us and listening to us, the Seattle Seahawks is a way better team than the San Francisco 49ers. But the 49ers are a way better team than the New Orleans Saints. So, what can you say, right?
You just got a groan from my wife across the room.
Hey, all I got to say is go Titans.
All I got to say is get a sling box and you don't have to mess around with it.
Yeah, something like that would have worked out way better, way better. But I wasn't going to buy a sling box just to watch the stupid game on the way home,
Well,
But
I think you touch on something though. I've reviewed the Charter app. You can watch live TV. You can watch about anything that's on the Charter channel. In fact, I can watch things I don't subscribe to, like HBO and Showtime. But the problem is it's all got to be done within the house. You can.
Yeah, it's in the IP. Yeah, it's got to be in your local network. Yeah.
So that's kind of frustrating. I agree with you, Jeff, and that's why a lot of people are cutting the cord. Hey, Robert, what do you got, big dog?
Well, I tell you what. I first want to give a big shout out, thank you to Bruce for lending me his best Santa voice this past Thanksgiving. We did a wonderful thing with the kids for Thanksgiving dinner. I actually took my portable battery-powered Bluetooth speaker and put it up in the chimney. Now you know where this is going, right? Well, of course, after Thanksgiving dinner was all done, the kids were anxiously awaiting, because they know after Thanksgiving dinner, Santa always appears with their letters somehow, some way. And so I was sitting in the corner of the room with this app ready to go, Bluetooth speaker hidden up in the chimney. And so my app this week is Custom Soundboard Creator. Let me share my screen with you. You'll love it. It was adorably cute. What this app basically allows you to do is to create sounds or use existing sounds and create your own soundboard. So with Bruce's help and his wonderful voice talent, we created some phrases.
Excuse me?
We created some phrases for Santa Claus to say. It is a super, super simple app. You record the phrases, you create a soundboard, you add the clips to it, and you just tap them and they play. So the first thing that the kids heard was this.
Ho, ho, ho.
Then they heard this. Then they heard,
I'm stuck in the chimney. Hang on a second. I'm trying to get out of this chimney. Ian, have you been a good boy? Can somebody take this bag? Maybe I'll get free.
it was a wonderful experience. The kids went berserk. And, of course, up in the chimney, we also had a Santa bag with their letters inside and a little gift from Santa Claus. But I was impressed with how well this soundboard app worked. Bruce knocked out these clips for me in just a couple minutes. I asked him to do a couple and then a couple more, and he had them knocked out. Sent me the MP3 files, and I just added them right to it. So this is really, really a simple soundboard creator. It's free, but as you saw, it does have ads. There is a paid version. I think it's $2.99 for the paid version without the ads, but it works really, really well. And again, the name of the app is Custom Soundboard Creator by Hipixel, Hipxel. Works really, really well. I recommend it highly.
Does it do playlists?
You can create a playlist for it, yes, and you can tell the soundboard whether the clip should loop or that type of thing. So, like the sleigh bells, we wanted the sleigh bells playing the whole time, even while Santa was talking. So once you press play, it just loops that sound, and then you can play other clips over the top of it. It worked phenomenally well. Kids were convinced Santa was stuck in our chimney.
And the chimney provided great reverb, I bet, too.
Oh, yeah, it was very rich sound. You sound good all the time, Bruce, but coming out of the chimney, let me tell you, it was very convincing.
I was smoking.
Yeah. I got to say, Robert, I have used that same app, and pretty impressive. Pretty impressive little app. Yeah, and you can't beat free.
No.
All right, man. Now, if you guys were like me and you were running Lollipop, you would know that there's a Flappy Bird clone within Lollipop. But that's not my app this week. My app this week is an app called SCR Screen Recorder Root Pro. And so at some point in time, maybe, you get Lollipop on your phones and you'll say, hey, Duke, how do I get that Easter egg to launch from Lollipop? And I will open up Screen Recorder Pro and I'll do something just like this right here. I'll say, let me just make a little recording of it. Hello, everyone. And this is going to be just a real quick demo to show you how to get to the Lollipop Easter egg. That is a Flappy Bird clone. Here we go. You go to Settings. Then at Settings, go down to, hit the wrong button there, About Phone. About Phone, go to Android version. Click on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe I'm not clicking on it fast enough. There it is. Click on it pretty fast. 3 or 4 times. You get the Lollipop. Then what happens each time you touch the Lollipop, it changes color. But if you long press, you get the Flappy Bird clone, and there it is. Yeah, and I suck at it. Very addicting, very frustrating game. But that's it. Just go to Settings, About Phone, Android version, and click on that about 3 or 4 times in succession, and look out. You're in for lots of frustration and addiction. So, yeah, man, that's it. Thank you very much. So, that is my app for this week, SCR Screen Recorder Pro. It is a great little app.
Did it record the audio as well?
Oh, Jeff, it even does video. You can actually open up the front-facing camera. In fact, since you asked, really, really quick, let me try this one. Yes, here you go. Hey, good morning, everyone. Just found a unique app and trying it out here. I think it's a pretty cool little app, got a lot of potential. You have to be rooted to run it, but you are looking at my screen and also a camera of me talking. You can see here I can move around, so I can actually do a live recording from my Android device in real time with audio and video. I think this is pretty unique, and I'm actually going to do a test here. I have not tried this out, but I'm going to go over here and I'm going to launch YouTube. And let's see, I'm in my subscriptions. Let's see, I'm trying to find something. Let's check this out right here. And
TNT tonight. Saving the world will take brains.
Okay, so it does. It recognizes. so you can see right there, it actually went into landscape mode and moved my camera up into the upper right-hand corner from the landscape mode. Here's the deal. There's a free version out there that I would recommend that you try, and there's a $1 version. But to be able to access the microphone is going to require root access. And that is a $2 app. There are some other apps out there that do the same thing. I was hearing very good things about this SCR Screen Recorder Root Pro. Went and checked it out. Very, very cool app. I would highly recommend it. All right, man. We got anything else this week, guys?
Yeah, let me ask a question on those screencasts. Can you save those, and what format does it save in?
Saves in MP4.
Okay, so you could upload that to your YouTube channel and do little tutorials about...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which I plan on doing, Bruce.
When you were playing that game, I was thinking Sucky Bird, not Flappy Bird, since you said
but is it Lollipop only, or is it...
There are all kinds of screencasting apps out there that record video. This particular one has been set up specifically for Lollipop and Root, but the $1 one should work just fine on KitKat. Okay? It's just that to get the microphone to work on Lollipop, you have to be rooted.
Okay. Got it.
Okay? Yeah, so... hey, and I do. I've really enjoyed that little app. I've done several little recordings right there from my phone, and I really want to stress. I think it's actually the audio quality. I think is excellent for this device.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, man. Anything else? All right, guys. Hey. You guys have a great week. We will catch you in 7. Tech and Coffee, Android Journal. Later, gang.